Ever felt that sting when he suddenly goes silent? When your messages sit unread, or his replies get shorter and colder? It hurts. You wonder what you did wrong. You question your worth. But here's what most people don't tell you. When he ignores you, it doesn't mean it's over. In fact, this moment might be your perfect opportunity. The truth is, men are wired differently. Their distance often has little to do with how they feel about you. It's about how they process emotions, handle stress, or test the relationship dynamics. Today, I'm sharing proven strategies that won't just get his attention back, they'll make him actively pursue you. These aren't mind games or manipulation tactics. They're psychological triggers that awaken his natural desire to chase what he fears losing. You'll learn exactly what to do when he pulls away, how to respond in ways that intrigue rather than push him further away, and the subtle shifts that transform you from being the chaser to the chased. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about becoming the confident, high-value woman he can't stop thinking about. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to flip the script in your favor. Before you can change the situation, you need to understand what's causing it. Men pull away for specific reasons that often have nothing to do with losing interest in you. Sometimes work pressure takes over his mind completely. When men face career challenges or deadlines, they tend to compartmentalize. They focus solely on solving one problem before moving to anything else, including relationships. This doesn't mean he values his job more than you. It's simply how many men are wired to handle stress. Family issues can also cause him to withdraw. Men often feel responsible for fixing problems, and when they can't solve family concerns quickly, they might retreat until they figure things out. They don't want to burden you or appear vulnerable when they feel they should be strong. Fear of deepening emotions makes many men create distance. When feelings grow intense, some men panic about losing independence or facing rejection if they show too much attachment. This fear triggers a protective response, pulling back to regain emotional balance. Past relationship trauma explains numerous cases of sudden silence. If he's been hurt before, his brain might send warning signals when your connection reaches the same point where previous relationships failed. This unconscious protective mechanism kicks in without him fully realizing why. You can spot whether it's temporary or serious by watching for certain signals. Temporary distance usually involves him still responding, just less frequently. He might mention being busy but still express care for you. His tone remains warm despite fewer words. More concerning signs include complete communication stops, avoiding all forms of contact, or making excuses to cancel plans without suggesting alternatives. When he seems annoyed by basic questions or stops sharing any details about his life, the situation may need more serious attention. Physical distance combined with emotional withdrawal often signals deeper issues. If he's physically present but mentally checked out, pay attention. Notice if he maintains any form of connection, even small ones like occasional texts, or if he's completely removed himself from your life. When he creates distance, it's time to focus intensely on building your own vibrant life. This isn't about manipulating him, it's about genuinely investing in yourself. Nothing attracts a man more than seeing a woman who continues thriving whether he's present or not. Start expanding your social circle without waiting for his participation. Accept invitations you'd normally decline. Reach out to friends you haven't seen lately and create new memories that don't include him. Men are naturally curious creatures, and seeing you having fun without them triggers questions in their minds about what they might be missing. Pursue passionate interests that light you up from within. Whether it's taking that photography class, training for a 5K, or finally learning to cook those complicated recipes, passionate people are magnetic. When you develop skills and interests that excite you, that energy becomes visible to everyone around you, including him. Career advancement creates an aura of competence that men find irresistible. Set new professional goals, take on challenging projects, or even explore side hustles that showcase your talents. Success in any form demonstrates value and makes him wonder about what else he might not fully appreciate about you. Physical self-care signals confidence and self-respect. This doesn't mean changing yourself to fit someone else's standards. It means honoring your body through movement that feels good, nourishing foods, and adequate rest. When you prioritize your well-being, it shows in how you carry yourself. Men instinctively chase what moves away from them. Psychological studies consistently show that we value things that become less available. When you shift focus from trying to regain his attention to building a fulfilling life, you activate his natural pursuit instinct. He'll begin to fear losing his place in your world. Independence creates healthy tension in relationships. When he sees you standing firmly on your own, making decisions and enjoying life without seeking his approval, it challenges him to step up. Men respect what they can't control, and they cherish what they must continually earn. Mystery creates a powerful magnetism that few can resist. When someone thinks they've completely figured you out, their brain stops working to understand you. Predictability might feel comfortable, but it silently kills attraction over time. Human psychology operates on an interesting principle. We crave what we don't fully possess. This explains why relationships often cool when everything becomes routine. When he knows exactly what you'll say, how you'll react, and what you'll do in any situation, his mind categorizes you as a solved puzzle. Once solved, attention naturally drifts elsewhere. Attraction thrives on curiosity gaps, those small moments of, I wonder what she means by that, or I wonder what she's doing tonight. These mental question marks keep him thinking about you even when you're not together. Each unanswered question creates a subtle tension that his brain wants to resolve. Cultivate selective sharing instead of revealing everything at once. Hold back some details about your day, new interests, or future plans. This isn't about being secretive. It's about leaving space for discovery. When he asks about your weekend, mention the highlight without giving a minute-by-minute breakdown. Let him wonder about the full story. Develop new sides of yourself that surprise him. Learn something unexpected, perhaps a martial art, a new language, or how to fix your own car. When he discovers these new dimensions of you, it forces him to reconsider any limiting ideas he had about who you are. Change small patterns occasionally without explanation. Take a different route home, try a new coffee shop, or listen to music outside your usual preferences. These small, unpredictable shifts signal that you're continuously evolving rather than stuck in fixed patterns. Allow comfortable silences in conversation instead of filling every gap. Mystery lives in these spaces between words, where his mind can wonder what you're thinking. When you don't immediately respond to every message, you create room for anticipation to build. This slight unpredictability keeps his interest heightened and prevents him from taking your responses for granted. Social media becomes a powerful tool when used with intention rather than desperation. Platforms offer windows into your life that can trigger powerful psychological responses without saying a word directly to him. Post content that showcases genuine joy rather than staged happiness. Authentic moments carry an energy that can't be faked. Having dinner with friends, enjoying a sunset, or celebrating small personal victories. These glimpses into your fulfilling life speak volumes without seeming calculated. Men can sense the difference between posts created for attention versus those capturing real moments of a life well lived. Timing matters significantly when sharing content. Posting during peak hours when he's likely browsing increases the chance he'll see your updates naturally. Evening posts often get more attention as people unwind and scroll through feeds after work. This strategic timing ensures maximum visibility without directly engaging him. Focus on quality over quantity in what you share. Excessive posting signals seeking validation, while selective sharing creates curiosity. When you only post particularly meaningful experiences, each update carries more weight and leaves him wondering what else he's missing from your life between posts. Men experience FOMO, fear of missing out, differently than women. Their competitive nature means seeing you enjoying life without them creates an instinctual response. When he notices others appreciating your presence, whether through comments, interactions, or simply seeing you surrounded by friends, it triggers a primal desire to maintain his position in your world. Stories and temporary content create urgent attention. The time-limited nature of Instagram stories or Snapchat updates creates immediate action. He knows this glimpse into your life will disappear soon. This urgency often compels viewing even when someone is trying to maintain distance. Never post sad quotes, indirect messages, or anything that reveals you're affected by his absence. Such transparency eliminates mystery and signals lower value. Instead, share content showing personal growth, new experiences, and social connection. This demonstrates you're expanding rather than diminishing in his absence. Interaction patterns matter too. Responding to everyone except him creates a notable absence that speaks loudly. This subtle pattern registers subconsciously, making him aware he's missing from your engagement circle without explicitly pointing it out. Scarcity fundamentally changes how we perceive value in every aspect of life. Limited edition products sell at premium prices. Exclusive restaurants require reservations weeks in advance. Rare materials become precious simply because they're difficult to obtain. This same psychological principle applies directly to relationships and attention. When someone has unlimited access to anything, including your time, attention, and availability, they naturally value it less. This isn't manipulation, it's basic human psychology. We take for granted what's always available and crave what seems just beyond reach. Men particularly respond to this dynamic because their brains are wired to enjoy pursuit and achievement. Become selectively available by genuinely filling your calendar with meaningful activities. Decline last-minute invitations occasionally, not as a game, but because you truly have other commitments. When he texts, don't drop everything to respond immediately every time. This natural delay communicates that while you value connection with him, your world doesn't revolve around his contact. Weekends become particularly important in creating healthy scarcity. Reserve some weekend time exclusively for yourself, friends, or family. When he sees you're not always free during these prime social hours, it signals you have a full life that doesn't depend on his presence. Balance is crucial when creating limited availability. Complete unavailability pushes someone away permanently, while constant accessibility removes all challenge. Watch for his engagement level and match it with slight adjustments. If he increases effort to connect, reward that with more responsive energy. If he pulls back, naturally allow more space to develop. Avoid explaining or apologizing for your busy schedule. Simply state when you're available next without defensive justification. Confidence in having a full life is attractive on its own without requiring explanation. When you do make time for him, be fully present rather than distracted. This quality of attention matters more than quantity. Phone usage signals significant availability cues. Put your phone away during shared time to demonstrate quality attention. Conversely, don't be constantly reachable when apart. These small boundaries create a healthy dynamic where connection feels like a choice rather than an obligation for both people. Communication style dramatically affects how eager someone feels to engage with you. Small adjustments in how you express yourself can transform interactions from obligation to anticipation. Men respond particularly well to certain conversational approaches that align with how their brains naturally process information. Ask open-ended questions that tap into his expertise or experiences. Men typically enjoy opportunities to share knowledge or insights in areas where they feel competent. Instead of, "Did you like that new restaurant?" try, "What stood out about that new restaurant compared to others?" This invites thoughtful response rather than one-word answers. Text messages benefit from built-in curiosity hooks. Ending messages with intriguing partial information creates natural response desire. Saying something amazing happened at work today without immediately explaining creates a curiosity gap his mind will want to fill. This technique works because unresolved stories create mild tension that seeks resolution. Voice messages add emotional dimension that text lacks. Occasional voice notes with your genuine laughter or excitement convey energy that sterile text messages cannot. This multisensory experience makes connection feel more personal and harder to ignore than standard messages. Positive reinforcement works powerfully on everyone, especially men. When he does respond, acknowledge specific things you appreciate about his communication. Genuine comments like, "I love hearing your perspective on this," encourage similar future engagement without seeming manipulative. Topics connected to his passions naturally pull him back into conversation. Men open up most when discussing subjects that genuinely interest them. Notice what makes his eyes light up in conversation, whether sports, music, work projects, or hobbies, and occasionally circle back to these areas with new questions or observations. Future-focused questions subtly strengthen connection. Casual mentions of upcoming events create forward momentum in his mind. Questions like, "Have you tried that new hiking trail yet?" plant seeds of potential shared experiences without directly asking for plans. Humor creates powerful bonds through shared pleasure. Light-hearted messages that match his sense of humor trigger positive association. Funny observations about shared experiences or inside jokes remind him of the unique connection you share that he doesn't have with others. Men possess deeply embedded protective instincts that evolved over thousands of years. These instincts remain powerful motivators in modern relationships despite our changed world. Activating this natural drive creates a compelling reason for him to reconnect without manipulation or games. Counterintuitively, displaying competence actually increases rather than decreases his desire to protect and help. When you demonstrate capability in handling challenges, it shows you don't need rescuing, which paradoxically makes offering assistance feel like a choice rather than an obligation. This distinction transforms helping from burden to privilege, handling difficult situations independently while casually mentioning them later creates perfect opportunities for him to engage. Fixing your own flat tire, resolving a work crisis, or navigating a complex situation shows admirable self-sufficiency while still leaving room for him to offer input or appreciation. This balance signals both strength and openness. Selective vulnerability creates natural protective responses without appearing helpless. Sharing occasional challenges, particularly those involving other people taking advantage or treating you unfairly, triggers his innate sense of justice. Men often feel drawn to situations where they can provide unique value through their perspective or abilities. Body language communicates subtle cues that activate protective responses without words. Slightly turning toward him during concerning situations, maintaining eye contact when discussing challenges, or momentarily showing genuine worry before regaining composure all signal openness to support without explicitly requesting it. Accepting help gracefully requires specific language that honors both his contribution and your independence. Phrases like, "that would be really helpful," rather than, "I need your help," maintain personal agency while welcoming his involvement. This framing preserves dignity for both parties. Express genuine appreciation for specific qualities in his assistance rather than generic thanks. Noting his unique approach, thoughtfulness, or expertise acknowledges the particular value he brings. This specific recognition makes him feel irreplaceable rather than simply useful. Allow space for him to solve problems his way instead of directing every detail. Men often engage most when they can approach challenges using their natural problem-solving methods. This freedom to approach situations in his own style creates satisfaction that reinforces his desire to remain involved in your life. Timing becomes crucial when deciding to reinitiate contact after a period of distance. Wait until emotions have settled and you've genuinely refocused on your own life before reaching out. This natural cooling period typically takes at least a week, sometimes longer depending on the situation's intensity. Patience during this phase ensures any conversation comes from clarity rather than reaction. Reach out with purposeful, low-pressure contact that feels natural rather than calculated. Reference something specific he would find genuinely interesting. An article related to his work, an event connected to his hobby, or a brief observation that reminds you of a positive shared experience. This approach provides value rather than seeking validation. Keep initial messages concise and upbeat without demanding responses. Long explanations or emotional statements create pressure that often pushes men further away. Instead, brief, positive communication opens doors without expectation. This light touch allows him to engage comfortably without feeling cornered. Pay close attention to response energy rather than just content. His enthusiasm level, response time, and message length reveal more about his current interest than his actual words. Match this energy instead of exceeding it significantly. This mirroring creates balanced exchange where neither person feels overwhelmed by the other's intensity. Establish clear boundaries around communication patterns moving forward. If his inconsistent texting bothers you, decide what frequency feels respectful and communicate this calmly when reconnection stabilizes. Boundaries work best when framed as personal standards rather than accusations. I prefer regular communication in my relationships rather than "you never text me enough." Follow through consistently on any stated boundaries. Men respect what you enforce, not what you request. If you've expressed a need for respectful communication, don't accept less simply because you miss him. This consistency demonstrates self-respect that becomes the foundation for how he treats you. Create consequences that involve your availability rather than punishment. When boundaries are crossed, simply become less available rather than expressing anger. This natural consequence communicates more effectively than words alone. Men respond to patterns of experience more readily than verbal corrections. Rebuild connection gradually, rather than immediately resuming previous intensity. This measured pace allows trust to redevelop naturally and gives both people space to establish healthier patterns. Rushing back to former dynamics often recreates the same issues that caused distance initially. Being ignored hurts, but you now have the tools to transform this painful situation into an opportunity for positive change. These strategies work because they align with genuine human psychology rather than playing manipulative games. When he sees you thriving independently, maintaining healthy mystery, and communicating with confidence, something fundamental shifts in how he perceives you. You become the high-value woman who knows her worth rather than someone desperately seeking validation. Remember that the ultimate goal isn't just getting him to chase you, it's creating a relationship dynamic where both people value and respect each other. Sometimes this process reveals that you're better off without him. Other times it creates the foundation for a significantly stronger connection. The most powerful attraction comes when you genuinely focus on building your best life regardless of his response. This authentic growth resonates on a level that surface-level tactics never could. You become magnetic not because of what you do to get his attention, but because of who you become in the process. If this advice helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more relationship insights that actually work. Your support helps us reach more people who need these strategies. Thanks for watching.